So I'm gonna pack my things and go travel the world before I'm old. I'll send you photos in the post to capture the moments I love the most. This is my great escape. This is my...
Hi guys! We're finally getting around to sharing the footage from our Icelandic road trip. This is actually one of my favorite areas in Iceland. That's not all fog, that's actually steam rising from geysers. The water here was really hot, almost at boiling point, and there were lots of geysers, big and small, but the exciting bit was waiting for the huge ones to burst.
One thing was clear on our very first day in Iceland. We were going to see many waterfalls over the following fortnight. I mean, they were everywhere. And the first one we saw was one of the spectacular ones. I think it's called Godafoss. I mean, just look at this. The spray of water as it falls off the cliff. It was massive. The Golden Circle was nice, but the next part of the road trip was even better. We walked on volcanic soil towards a lagoon full of icebergs. I know what you're thinking, volcanic soil next to icebergs? But hey, it's true. In fact, it was the perfect place for a romantic walk, and well, some tomfoolery too. I think we must have spent an hour or so here, just watching the icebergs floating away into the ocean. It was magical. Driving through snow and lava fields was a crazy experience. I kid you not, we often felt that we were in a winter wonderland on Mars or the moon. And in case you're wondering how we kept ourselves entertained on such long drives, well, the chatterbox on the back seat talked and talked some more. Sid, on the other hand, mastered the art of ignoring her and instead let the music entertain him. I think we were listening to Morchiva. That's our car. Sid and Savi decided to go for a drive while I was taking some pictures. As you can probably tell, there was no one else around. Seriously guys, not a soul. The highlight of the day was a little detour we took. We got off the main road and went on a crazy gravel path. That's the trail our car left behind. I mean, fun times. Now consider yourself warned. If you want to do this, make sure you have a 4x4.
This was such an amazing day. We actually trekked to two waterfalls, Godafoss and Snaefellsness, and we had to cross a river to get there, and a brutally unpaved path. It was quite scary because the river was quite deep at places. I mean, I know we're walking right now, but there's going to be a lot of snow, and then there's a lot of water. You'll see what I mean. Yes, that's me hesitating to cross the river because it was quite deep at this point and I'm a really clumsy person. But look what we found at the end. It's this gorgeous rainbow originating from the waterfall. Iceland is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, guys. It really is. I'm regaling Sid with all the facts that I'd learnt about the waterfall from my old friend, the internet.
Let's go. 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 Let's
Now comes our favorite area in Iceland. It's called Myvatn, and what we are walking on right now is the Viti crater, a volcanic crater that has a lake in its center. We were bummed in the beginning when we saw that the lake was frozen, but when we reached the top, we were so happy that it was. Look at that view, and can you spot Savi? Not far from the crater were bubbling springs that smelled of chemicals and rotten fish. Ew. No matter how fascinating this whole area was to look at, the smell made sure that we didn't have our lunch that day. Not so good. This tiny hidden cave is also a hot spring, but one of the nice kind. We had read that it can be difficult to find, so we were chuffed when we located it. Once inside, we were just amazed by the color of the water and the steam that was rising from it. Just look at that. We got our bathing suits thinking we'd chill in the water for a while, but the water was way too hot, so we just sat and marveled at this natural wonder and pulled some funny faces.
You've probably heard us say this a million times before, but Iceland has the world's prettiest B&Bs. And you've seen photos of this cottage on our blog, in our Facebook page, everywhere you could possibly have seen them. But this is a 360-degree view of the surroundings. It was absolutely gorgeous. Sid and I spent most of our time communing with these wildflowers. But when we weren't daydreaming, we were devising some crazy elf dance, which you're about to see in a second. Sometimes, guys, I wonder what Vid's married into. Vid was being a very good boy and slaving away at the barbecue. He was cooking some beef burgers for us. It's a hard life, guys. It's a hard life. We tore ourselves away from the cottage and nipped into town for exactly 5 minutes before I pretended to be tired. I just wanted to go back. I love that cottage. It's the next day, but nothing much has changed. Vid and I are having an exciting cup of coffee on our porch. I know, we're such oldies. We really enjoyed the couple of lazy days we spent here at this cottage because we'd had such a hectic week of driving around in Iceland that this was a welcome opportunity to just relax and do nothing at all. One last look at the scenery around the cottage before we hit the road again. Next, we hit the Snaefellsness Peninsula, where we saw the cutest creatures ever. I know they aren't cuddly, but I mean, can we just take a minute to appreciate the two horses nuzzling against each other? In case you're wondering how Icelandic horses achieve the perfect windswept hairstyle, or why we opted for a voiceover in this video, let me give you a sneak peek into what the weather was actually like on the day.
After all that driving in the Icelandic countryside, we spent the last few days in Urbanity. Reykjavik had an amazing feel to it. Quirky architecture, great cafes, and super cool graffiti. Definitely gets our vote of approval. We had hoped for sunny days since we were going whale watching from Reykjavik. But well, Mother Nature had other plans. Choppy seas and cloudy skies. We did spot a few whales in the distance, but the most fun was had in wearing and running around in our neon flotation suits. Can you blame us? Well, that's about it. We drove over 2,000 kilometers in a couple of weeks and loved every second of the trip. Hope you all enjoyed this vlog. If you need more details about planning an unforgettable road trip in Iceland, all the articles we wrote on our trip are linked below. And hey, don't forget to leave us a comment or give us a thumbs up if you had fun watching this video. Bye!